Today on AI Impact and Strategy, you're going to meet my friend, Tom Kehner. Tom and I have known each other for about 20 years because we're part of the same global community of practice. The work that we share is sometimes called high performance collaboration. It grew out of work done by a pioneering boutique consulting firm called MG Taylor Corporation in the 1980s. It's a synthesis of many disciplines, including meeting facilitation, systems thinking, innovation, education, and management. And its purpose is very simple: to help organizations and leaders make better decisions faster. We're typically able to compress weeks or even months of work into a couple days, which is, of course, why there's now a global community of people who do this kind of work. Some of them are in boutique firms, some of them are in mid-sized firms, some of them are in the giant consulting houses. And now that AI is starting to make such a difference in all aspects of work, we're starting to experiment with AI as a tool to augment and enhance human thinking and human decision making. And Tom's firm, theDifference, is a pioneer in this area. They're working with many of their clients and technology partners to develop new uses for AI that speed up the process of thinking through complex issues, coming to decisions, and moving forward with implementation. You'll notice that Tom's in the cab of a vehicle. He's on the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, and he stopped in Missouri for about an hour for us to have a chat and to change a flat tire. Yeah, well, I'm really interested to hear. So Betty's been telling me about the amazing stuff you guys are doing with AI, and I'd love to know about it for myself and also for the channel.
Absolutely. Yeah. Through the work that we've been doing with the Department of the Air Force since 2018, we have been part of a consortium that is running what's called the AFWorks Challenge program. So now includes the space side with the SpaceWorks Challenge program. But it's essentially a crowdsourced vehicle. It involves industry and academia and government in order to define the problem and to come up with a problem statement and to basically put together, rather than a 70 to 100 page RFP or RFQ, do it in a crowdsourced sense. So that's what our work is. It's a series of conversations. It's very human. It's
Mhm.
very much, engaging people to get their fingerprints on a decision or on a solution or on whatever it is they're trying to solve. We landed some additional contracts through the Small Business Innovation Research side, which the Department of the Air Force plays very heavily in. It's SBA money. Begin to experiment and test with ways that mass collaboration with the support of AI, how that could play and how the Air Force can leverage these tools in order to, basically work faster, smarter. We're definitely pretty far down the path in exploring how augmenting the way that people meet, the way that people make decisions, the way that people design solutions for business problems can be augmented with AI tools. There's a Chat GPT element to that, but it started there, but has definitely expanded now into agentic AI, leveraging agents for doing some repetitive work, which is more workflow, how AI can essentially be a true business partner, again, in the process of making decisions faster and smarter. So that's opened up a host of opportunities for us to experiment. But yeah, we have a client who's eager and interested and willing, what AI and collaboration essentially means.
That's awesome. So, can you be specific about the kinds of applications you're using AI for, like what aspects of the work or the collaboration?
Where we're using agentic workflow tools. The one that we've experimented the most is N8N. You can program workflows, ambient recording of breakouts, groups of 7 to 9 people sitting in a breakout space, still using a whiteboard because we know that that's getting visual and spitballing ideas and drawing things out is definitely a part of the collaborative process. But with the ability to record that conversation and very quickly obtain a transcript, the speed at which we can now take a recording through an N8N routine, but a workflow, press one button and have the recording move to a written transcript, move through a series of GPT tools with pre-prompts that pull out not only just a summary, but where is this group in alignment on certain topics. So we're now very much automated to the point where we see a cycle of setting some context, exploring what the possibilities might be, and beginning to design a piece of the solution happening multiple times within the course of however many hours the client has given us to do the work. But then in real time during the event, have AI as your augmenter, or the term that we're using now is cognitor, the next evolution of a knowledge worker. It's an augmented way to move a client in running, large workshops, large experiences that are designed to move a client rapidly from one point to the next in the development of whatever they're trying to do. So with AI now, it's just, we used to say 9 months worth of work in 3 days. If we can get to this, sooner and have confidence that we understand, we're not rushing through something. We're actually taking real data, real information, real conversation, real pictures of whiteboard walls, and using a tool to help us better comprehend, what's happened in this last hour or this last 90 minutes, and where should the next hour or the next 90 minutes take us. It's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. So is N8N a commercial platform, or that's something you guys have developed?
No, that's a commercial tool. One of our partners, collaboration.ai, is basically the technology side of what we're doing. They're also under a very similar contract. We have worked alongside. So we being theDifference and collaboration.ai being the technology company, we came together in 2018 when we first started doing the AFWorks challenge, and which led into the SpaceWorks challenge. Their product is CrowdVector, which is the crowdsourcing component. They are in the process of building a tool called Network OS. That tool will form the backbone, if you will. All of the agentic things that we're building now will eventually be tools that ride on top of Network OS and are the ingesting engines of information into their platform.
That's awesome. So you're intending to commercialize your algorithms through Network OS, is that right?
Yeah, Network OS will definitely be, software as a service. But yeah, part of our contracts are not only to benefit the DoD, but you have to check a pretty significant commercialization box with the small business innovation research as well. The overall umbrella that all of this work from both Collaboration AI and theDifference is fitting under is a brand of United We Transform, UWT. So United We Transform, the ultimate goal would be this would be a packaged system for how work gets done. So we're testing all the different kind of tools as they're coming out. If you have pictures of what they're talking about, and you have the audio recordings, that's really all you need to, from a data perspective, to feed into AI to get the outputs that will make an impact. A conversation is, in air, but if it's recorded, now you have data. And really what you need is the audio to do sentiment analysis, to do, a summarization, to do any type of analysis on understanding, where there's disconnects, where there's agreement, disagreement. What can we do with real data now? How can we leverage all that in real time to make an impact for the next hour of the time that the client's going to be together?
So have you thought ahead to some of the developments in AI and what that's going to mean in terms of, increasing power, AGI, very, very smart technologies, smarter than people, et cetera, et cetera?
We've thought about the fact that it's coming. I don't think we've necessarily thought too far ahead in terms of what that's going to mean. What's rolling around in the back of our human brains right now is, the ability for AGI to be more of a true human-esque type of partner in these
Right.
decision-making sessions. We'll have to wait for the Googles of the world to perfect some of that, but we're not waiting a decade. It's probably measured in months and certainly single-digit years, low single-digit years for that to be the next wave of disruption. Another tool that we've used substantially in the planning for sessions is 11 Labs. It's a bot, but they have perfected the ability for like pre-workshop interviews. The true value now is in your prompting ability. So prompting an AI tool around a transcript or multiple transcripts of conversations you've had. Let's say you do interviews of 6 to 8 executives ahead of a session. You now have a lot more information and a lot more processing power to make sense of all of that. But now we're leveraging this tool called 11 Labs, which will communicate in multiple languages. And again, the way that it's prompted to do an interview to where you can have, maybe 100 people in the workshop are
Mm-hmm.
pre-interviewed. It doesn't take,
Wow.
someone sitting on the phone for, 100 calls. Here's a link that at some point in the next week, you
Right.
need to click this link and you're going to be asked a series of questions and you're going to have an actual conversation. The 11 Labs tool, again, with the proper prompting, we've used it with great success with a tool like that. So leveraging an AI to gather far more information than we thought was humanly possible before, to actually
Mhm.
process that information, to do sentiment. I mean, sentiment analysis is a part of most AI tools now. It's probably something that it's super critical, I think, for the work that we do through a transcript, through a robot generated call with 11 Labs fed into workflows. And again, we're using the N8N tool.
So, what's the title of your book?
The book will be called United We Transform. It's intended to be a practitioner's guide, toolkits in every chapter. We're using the term collaborative intelligence,
Mhm.
where the human intellect and AI augmentation is that synergy that we're looking to capitalize on. It's all around, or a phrase that we use, solving for clarity. Like solving for that level of clarity, I think we now have, a new era and a new tool set in AI. Another term we're using in the book, the cognitor. So the next generation of knowledge worker who is using human intellect to prompt an AI tool in a way that is generating useful information. You'd have to think that as AGI becomes more a part of AI, that like the critical thinking and the ability to give, constructive, negative feedback will hopefully improve, because I think it's needed. The other term that maybe is useful here that the book goes into is, we're calling it STACK, Synergistic Task Accelerator and Collaborative Knowledge Building. So there's an acronym in there, STACK. So this is the process, and I would say we're really deep into experimenting with this now. But it's that rapid iteration of understanding context, looking at possible solutions, and then taking action on something, stacking up these fast iterative cycles. We use the term setting context, exploring possibilities, and then taking action in rapid cycles, once per exercise. So every 45 to 90 minutes, you're going through this process, and in that time frame now, collecting the data and information from each phase of the stack, quickly processing that so that it can impact the next exercise. The intent then is, rather than making the plan to go do the work or to go make the communication or to go manage whatever it is they're doing, what if we actually started doing it? It's not the communication plan that comes out at the end of 3 days. It is the communication, and send has already been pressed and it's already
Right.
out in the world.
Right.
It's not the plan to go put a project team together to do it. It's the project team has come together and they're already 3 or 4 steps into their project.
Excellent. Well, I suppose you need to get back on the road by now, right?
Yeah, we are. We're going to get a tire changed out quick, and then we'll get back on the
Oh,
road. So,
okay.
yeah,
I really appreciate you fitting me in the middle of Missouri.
it's a pleasure, Langdon. Thanks for the opportunity to have a chat with you. It's yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
All right, Tom, take
Appreciate
care.
it.
It was very kind of Tom to pause on his way across America to spend some time with me to fill us in on all the great work that he's doing. In addition to the book that Tom's working on with his colleagues, we're also co-authors of a book. The lead author is Betty Dahmers, and the book is called Brighter. And it's all about how to improve, yes, design and decision making and management. we're just finishing up the book now, and it should be out later this summer.